broken stoves and broken promises. It'll all make sense after the titles. Come back and find out. Hey everybody, Anthony Dodge, the Model Train Outsider, the Märklin Outsider, a Knight of the Rhomboid Table here with a locomotive purchase video. I know, not less than 10 days ago I sat in front of a camera on my live stream and said after those 5 steamers I bought in a week and a half, 2-week period, I was done. No more trains. My train budget was gone, which it is. That was it. I'd bought, Joyce, that's enough. Me, that's enough. So what happened? Our stove died. Now, how does a dying stove lead to a new locomotive? I'm glad you asked. Even if you didn't, I did. Okay. We've been having problems with our oven, stove, cooker combination. It's a double decker, and the lower decker, which is the big one where you cook your Christmas and hams and turkeys, your Thanksgiving turkeys here in America, the big meals. It's been acting up for well over a year. It warms up, but it takes forever to warm up, and it never seems to get to the right temperature. You cook things that are supposed to be at 350 for 20 minutes, and after 3 minutes after the time, it's not quite cooked through. We felt for a while it's been acting up, but the smaller one has been fine, and of course the burners are fine, and it's a gas stove. Well, I went to cook on it a week and a half ago, and turned it on, the upper oven, and it never warmed up. No gas leak, no smell. It just did not warm up. It stayed on the lowest setting that it starts with when you turn it on, which is low until it starts reading temperature. Now, Joyce has been talking for a little while about getting a new oven. So after I worked on this over the weekend into Monday, she came home from work on a Monday, and she said, well, maybe we should call Ace Appliance. And I said, yeah, let's call somebody. And she says, well, I've been looking at getting a new stove. I said, yeah, but we really, cash in hand, we can't afford, because not only does she want a new stove, she wants one of these induction cookers with a full convection oven. Our upper rack oven is a convection oven, but not the lower. She wanted induction and convection, and we bought a stove, and there's a little money left, and said, well, I can put this back, or we can throw it in the station. And I don't know if she was rewarding me for using this retirement money to buy a stove, or she said, why don't you just buy another train? No need to tell me twice. Okay, so what did I buy? But what I bought was the Märklin number 37621 double A plus B unit Amtrak F7 locomotive. After a couple of years of saying, no, I want an Amtrak, but I want it modern. I don't want these. I'm not a big fan of the F7s in terms of their looks and the Noabs that look like them over in Europe. No. And yeah, I bought it. Because there really was no train I wanted. I was thinking, well, what are some trains I've been looking at? So I started looking for the Lufthansa, because I really do want the Lufthansa Express with a 103. I only found one with the 111, and they wanted $290 for it, but by the time I decided, yeah, let's get it, it was sold. And the only other one I could find was $500, and that's just too much for me. I'm not going to spend $500 on 3 cars and a Loco. But because I did that, of course, I get a lot of eBay suggestions. Well, did you see this? And one of the eBay suggestions was for the set of Amtrak cars that go with this. Now, I thought the price they were asking was too much, but I went ahead and said, well, maybe somebody else has got them. And lo and behold, bam, that Thursday afternoon, the day after we bought the a new stove and oven, somebody was selling them for a really good price, about half to a third less than what I usually see them going for. And I thought, okay, that's not a bad price. So I put them on my watch list just to see. And I got a suggestion for the locomotive. And again, it was not a great price, but I decided to keep looking. And there's many versions of this, analog and digital, but also Märklin sells just the A unit, one A unit by itself for a price as a Loco. It sells the two A units together as a set, plus it sells the two A units and the cars together as a set. And then you get this one. And this normally goes for anywhere from $300 to $600 was one I saw, the most outrageous one, but $300 to $400. And this guy wanted $225 for this, and that's not what I paid. So I put this on my watch list, and we'll see what happens. Well, a little bit later on Friday, I get an eBay from two different sellers. The cars have been marked down to $187, and this one's been marked down to $200. To hell with it, I'm buying it. The cars are at least half price of what I see them going for, what people are asking for them. And this was easily half to a third less than the cheapest I see it going for. Right now on eBay, you can find this exact unit going for about $400 to $500, and I got this for exactly $200. And yeah, that's a lot of money, but it was left over from the oven with Joyce's blessing. So anyhow, I have it. The cars are coming. I bought the whole set, but for under $400 for the two combined, I can't complain, because there's one person selling the double A unit set with the cars. I think they wanted $575 for its starting bid. Now, that doesn't mean they'll get it. That doesn't mean what it's worth, but something's worth what people pay for it. But that these two showed up at good prices to begin with and then immediately came in as mocked down, why not? So let's get it out and take a quick look at it, and I'll come back and give you some more information on it. So here it is. Märklin number 37621, the F7 diesel locomotive set, two A units and a B unit. It is a basic decoder. This is not in the Märklin database, so I have not been able to learn a lot about this with the limited research I did. I didn't put too much time in it. It is from the early 2000s. It has an 8-pin decoder. It has been run, although not often, but the shoe, the ski, the Schleifer, does show a little bit of wear, so it's probably done some test laps, but probably hasn't been run that often. But anyhow, it is an F7. It is a hard body. It weighs well over a kilogram. You cannot separate these three units without unscrewing them, and you still have the wires in between each unit, so it's just better not to. So it's a little bit of fun to get all 6 sets of bogies on the track. It's too long for my re-railer, but it's an absolutely gorgeous one. Hard to tell exactly how many functions it has. It does not have sound, but it does have lights. So I'm going to put a little bit of oil on the gears, and I'm not going to run it in that much. I'll probably run a couple of little loops with it, but it clearly has been run in, and I've tested it on my programming track. Everything about it is ready to go. So just a wonderful addition to the fleet for what I'm after. It's Amtrak. I've wanted an Amtrak. It is the old F7s. I just want the newer, locomotives. But as I said, nobody is making any, in 3-rail, is making any new Amtrak locomotives. So it's got it's Era 4, Era 5. It's got the old Amtrak design from the 70s and into the 80s. But what the heck? It's an Amtrak, and it gives me 3 different Amtraks, but the first truly, fully American one. So hopefully when we get the cars, you'll really get to see a good set running. All right, let me run it in. All right, so it looks good. I didn't run it in and do the test up the ramp. I just ran it for a few minutes and then filmed some running shots that I'll give to you. I will say I did weigh this 1.56 kilograms. That's 3 pounds 6 ounces. This is a beast. It is a heavy beast. Now, what information I know about this, it's not in the Märklin database. I had to go to Märklin Usersnet. I looked around, and people were talking about it, but I could not find, and I didn't look hard either, I could not find specifics of when it was released and the usual clues about in the box I can't find. But be that as it may, based on the type of decoder it had, the box presentation, I'm going to say this was early, maybe late 90s, but probably early 2000s. The coupler on it is an older style coupler. It's not the Relics coupler or the short coupler. So an older model, probably upgraded. So this particular iteration, late 90s, early 2000s. So it's easily 25 years old. It probably had been run in or test run at one time, but it was in the box and clearly had not been out of the box in a long time. So it got a cleaning, it got a little bit of a cleanup, and then a re-oiling and lubing, and it ran great, as you saw. Not very noisy, although that type of motor and weight, it's going to have some noise to it. Not a lot of functions. It was an 8-pin, not an 8-pin, an 8 dip switch decoder, which was nice because I had some addresses empty from that level. If it had been a 4-pin, I would have been in trouble, but it was 8. So yeah, I got it in. Obviously, you saw a little bit of it running, and then I'll give you a lot of running shots here. But it's big, it's heavy. I can't wait for the cars. And yes, I am a bit of a hypocrite. I've been saying I hate the F7s, but now that this is here, it's going to be cool to have an actual American Loco, full American Loco. You know, I've got the ICE Amtrak that ran in America, but it was a German Loco that was sent over here. This is American, and so that's kind of nice. As much as I love my German stuff, it's nice to have an American to go with everything else, you know. And I know I've got that fake Pico ICE, but again, a German ICE 3 made it look that way. All right, I've babbled enough. Very cool, very happy with it. Went straight into the computer, ran well. I can't complain. It's an odd purchase. Bit of a hypocrite on my part, as I said, but hey, I'm allowed to change my mind. So with that note, let me leave you with a few more quick running shots, and then I will do a running video when the cars come in sometime next week. So until I see you on my live stream on Friday, I'm going to say Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, and happy trains. Take care, everybody.